Hi, you're with India Post Live, India's first online news conversation web TV. I'm Ishan Russell, and India Post Live is, of course, a forum for you to get in touch with us. Social media is the name of the game these days, so use social media. On Twitter, you can use hashtag India Post Live, or you can use our Twitter handle at India Post Live. On Facebook, we have a Facebook page called India Post Live. You can go ahead, like it, comment over there, share pictures or videos, or you can go to IndiaPostLive.com to watch this live right now as we stream, or you can watch this later as a video on demand, and there are so many other videos for you to check out as well. So go check those out and comment on the wall that we've given over there for you. And in case you want to participate and be the expert or talk to the experts yourself, just send us a request and we'll for sure get your voice heard via Skype or Google Hangout. All right, what we're talking about today is a massive victory that India has got in England at Lord's. Yes, India lauded over Lord's. Ishant Sharma with 7 wickets, Dhoni being credited with a lot. I mean, till a few days ago we were questioning the team, but now everything seems to be falling in place. So what went right and where does Team India go from here? We'll be discussing all that and more with our cricket expert Chetan Sharma. Thank you very much for coming in. Chetan Sharma needs no introduction. This international figure par excellence in terms of bowling, batting, has really delivered a lot for Indian cricket and still runs cricket academies and is a cricket expert running and mentoring young kids. And also joined by Raman Banot. He's a cricket expert, a known face on TV, has been talking about cricket for years and is an expert, established expert in that domain. So is Abhishek Upadhyay, who's also a cricket expert, runs his own academy and has a sports management firm. Thanks very much, Abhishek, for coming in. We're also joined by Ashok Kushu. He's a former Ranji player and he joins us from Bangalore. Thanks very much for coming in, Mr. Kushu. Sanjeev Singh is a consultant editor at India Post Live and he's, of course, a big cricket fan. And so is Ankit Sinha, a cricket enthusiast who we have been, whose expert opinion we've been sharing with you all for some time now. But Chetan sir, what went right for India? What a great victory.
Great victory, one of the greatest victories. We won 28 years back. 7 of the current cricketers who were playing yesterday were not even born in 1986. And what a game, and what a actual, we can say, the planning between the bowler and the captain and the management, the sports staff. And the way we now start trusting that we can bounce the ball, why not? You know, Ishant Sharma, always think after Zaheer Khan, he has to be a mentor for the fast bowlers because he's the only guy who's played over 50 test matches, 57 test matches he's played. And it was a time for Ishant Sharma to come and deliver it because we can't be saying he is talented. End of the day, you have to come and deliver it. Or the Makkah of cricket, Lords, and anybody and everybody. As soon as you enter that ground, you enter the dressing room, you see that board where all the players' names are there. Who got the bowlers got more than 5 wickets and hundreds scored by the batsmen. Ishant Sharma's name from India will figure on the top. 7 for 74. What achievement! All 5 wickets been taken. Anish, the last ball before lunch, the Moeen Ali, it started from there and he wrapped off England. It looks like England was nowhere and they've given the green top. They won the toss and still lost it. And this is the best thing, I think so. Best test match can ever happen for Indian cricket, and that in Lords. It will be remembered for ages to come.
All right, Raman, historical significance aside, what really went right for India other than what Chetan sir was pointing out? That Ishant Sharma bowled a brilliant spell. But in terms of batting also, we had to perform.
You see, on day 1 of this second test at Lords, when India lost the toss, as a viewer, when you saw the pitch, or as a commentator, when you saw the pitch, you couldn't make out, with the amount of grass that was on it, where the pitch ended and where the outfield began. And I can tell you, look back about 12 years, India got almost similar, looking surfaces. I'm not saying playing surfaces, but similar looking surfaces in New Zealand, which actually led VVS Lakshman to remark that there's enough grass for cows to graze, on the pitch. Because there was so much grass, albeit that was an exaggeration, whatever said and done. This pitch did look lively. It looked as if it was a green top, albeit, on day 2 and 3, you realize that probably there was also some bit of grass that had been sprinkled on it and rolled in. Therefore, it didn't stay as green throughout the entire duration of the test match. And, the ball started turning a lot as well on day 3, 4 and 5, especially day 5, the uneven bounce kicked in. But looking at that green top, it would have played psychologically on a lot of Indian batsmen in the past. But the way the Indian team approached the game after losing the toss and being put into bat, let's put into perspective that 100 by Ajinkya Rahane, it saved India the blushes in the first innings. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar's partnership with Rahane and the the 30 odd that he contributed, it's not a 50, it's not a 100, but those are very valuable runs.
He's the second highest run getter in the series for India.
Exactly. But in the first innings, it wasn't a 50, it wasn't a 100, it was just a 30 odd that he got. But the partnership that he stitched together with Ajinkya Rahane allowed India to post a respectable score on the board in the first innings. Otherwise, maybe 200, 220 India mopped up, things would have been very different in this test match. But they managed to get that far. And then in the second innings, again, Murali Vijay. I remember talking about this before the start of the series, that if there's one player who can change gears from T20 to test matches at the top, I think it's Murali Vijay, and he'll be willing to grind it out. He showed that with the big 150 in the first test match, showed it with a 95. He was unlucky to miss out on 100 in the second innings. But I think these are batting performances that set up the match. And last but not the least, you can't forget Ravindra Jadeja with the bat as a nunchaku, wielding that. When he got to his 50, you should have seen the celebration that he I'm sure you'll remember, he enacted on the pitch. It was reminiscent of what Sreesanth did when he hit Andre Nell for a 6 and broke into a breakdance jig. He did a similar scenario, getting that 50. There was a very valuable 68 that he got in the second innings that allowed India the cushion of runs to bowl at.
All right, but I'll just get in a few of your comments before we'll start talking about Gautam Gambhir and the ones who've been left on the sidelines and how do they figure in the future. But Abhishek, the big takeaway from you, great performance by Team India. A lot of doubts had been raised during the series about the squad itself, the selection of the squad, whether it was just Dhoni's men. But Dhoni's men certainly have delivered, and so has Dhoni. Abhishek, your audio is not very clear. If you could just speak into the mic, please.
Is it better this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishan, I still very clearly remember as a precursor to the series that we started, Chetan had very clearly pointed out that he did not have very high hopes from Murali Vijay, so to say. He said that he is a good performer, he is performing consistently, but he was not too sure if he'll be the first choice for the opener spot there. I think we started off on the right note by giving these youngsters a chance, and the kind of grit and determination the young team has shown in England is something that we have lacked in the past, and I think that's a very crucial factor if you talk about the overall performance of the Indian team there. So coming back to your point, yes, this grit and determination of this young Indian team, very perfectly led by Mahendra Singh Dhoni, that has actually this full triumph.
All right, would you agree, Chetan sir, Mahendra Singh Dhoni's captaincy perhaps was a big difference this time around?
Yes, the most important thing is the planning. What he must have spoken to Ishant Sharma followed it, because that was an actual time where I still feel India, at one stage we were thinking about losing the game, where Moeen Ali and Joe Root was batting. With another 50-60 run partnership, India would have definitely on the back foot. That's a time Mahendra Singh Dhoni must have spoke to Ishant Sharma regarding the short deliveries. You have to take some chances. Well, I still feel, always used to feel with the height 6'3", 6'4", Ishant Sharma, this is a weapon for any fast bowler. You have to really go and try it. Why can't we try it? Because every fast bowler try against our batsmen. Why can't we? And Ishant Sharma is the only guy who looks like, delivering the goods. And I think so that was a good plan between the captain and the bowler. And end of the day, Ishant Sharma now will definitely sit back and realize that he can do it. And the next 3 games will be very, very crucial. And now we have confidence that if you give us green tracks, give us a bouncy tracks, we can hit back England anytime. This is the message actually must have gone to the other dressing room, the opposition dressing room in Lords. And the confidence Indian team will be having, at least it will be that we start taking 20 wickets. Last 15 games which we haven't won outside India, it's because we are not able to get 20 wickets. And we start taking 20 wickets, we will start winning test matches.
But Was it just this time it paid off? Was it really that planned to that extent in terms of the 20 wickets that Chetan sir always talks about to get those 20 wickets? You might have had a brilliant spell from Ishant Sharma this time around, but there's still 3 more test matches to go.
Let's put things into perspective. There are 2 points I'd like to. One, I agree with what Chetan said, that there's a message that's going out that the hunted are now becoming the hunters. So it's not as if the Indians are the only guys who are going to be hunted with the short ball. The Indian bowlers can pay you back in the same coin. And the reason why we got a flat track in the first test match was because of this, that maybe I think even England were a little wary about the Indian bowling prowess. And England, remember, had lost a series to Sri Lanka. Their batters weren't coming into the best of form going into this series. So I think they needed a little cushion. The first test match was the cushion, and then you got the slightly greenish top. But coming back, I'll make another point. Ishant and Dhoni, the tactic paid off. And I think Dhoni was desperate enough to try it, to ask Ishant to bowl short, and it paid off because everything else that they had tried hadn't worked. And England were heading into lunch on that final day with an unbroken partnership between Moeen Ali and Joe Root. So they had to try something different, and since they got success, they were able to persist with it. Had the England batsmen defied India for a little while longer, I don't think they would have persisted with the short of length ploy for very long. I think it started paying off, so Dhoni was enthused and so was Ishant to continue with the ploy. All said and done. I'll go back and say cricket, yes, is a game of glorious uncertainties, but the umpiring in this match, really very bad standards of umpiring. Bruce Oxenford had the most horrific test match ever as umpire, I think. He gave some howlers. And on day 4, I think Moeen Ali should have been given out leg before by Kumara Dharmasena. It was a clear-cut leg before decision. And had India got a wicket then, I don't think the game would have seen the drama that unfolded on day 5. So I think at both ends there were howlers by the umpires. India can still rejoice about what they got, Chetan, but the story could have been so very different.
Raman, that's a big question mark regarding DRS. Why India does never take DRS? And we were the loser in this test match. Approximately 5 decisions went against India. Might be one odd decision would have gone in favor of England. But who end of the day, if we assess the test match, definitely with DRS, this match would have finished on the
India would have had to take 25 wickets literally to win this match. I mean, 5 weren't given out.
They have to blame themselves for not taking the DRS.
All right, fair enough. I want to get into a viewer comment. Ashok, you've been waiting patiently to get your perspective in. The opening partnership still looks a little weak, the opening pair. Shikhar Dhawan has not been firing. Gautam Gambhir is waiting in the wings. Despite this victory, do you think Gautam Gambhir gets his entry into the third test match?
Okay, before I discuss that, I want to put 4 reasons for England's debacle, which I can point it out. The first has been the spat between Jadeja and Anderson. We are forgetting it. We are not sure whether it has happened or not, or whether if it has happened, has it happened to that extent which has been put forth by the Indian team. What I personally feel, this might have been orchestrated. If you see the bowling of Anderson in the test on the first day when he was getting a green top, there were only few balls which the batsmen were asked to play. He was not the same Anderson as we have seen in the first test. Maybe this might be orchestrated. You can see the Monkey Gate, if you remember the Monkey Gate test in Australia, there was a lot of hue and cry, and then the next match it was played at Perth, the fastest wicket on the planet, and India won it. Maybe this is the one of the tactics which the teams are now adopting, and India is adopting it. Maybe they are getting a success. Another thing is that I can say is the unorthodox methods which the Dhoni applies. He doesn't go by the book. If you see, he was staying 3 or 4 yards behind the wicketkeeper to Jadeja. Whether it was a tactic, he was just simply playing on the nerves of the batsman. It was nothing. It was nothing would have come out of it. And then he pestered upon, which you have already discussed on Sharma, to bowl bouncers on that wicket. Maybe if there would have been any other team on any other occasion like Australia or it may be this one, South Africa, India would not have been able to take wickets that way. England played very badly. The batsmen just were fallen prey to the tactics of the Dhoni. Another thing which I see is the young breed with the Dhoni. If you see the whitewashed in Australia and in England, the reasons were that we had the people like Sachin Tendulkar and other players who were given a lot to Indian cricket, but they were not that strong at that time. Their reflexes were not strong. This time they had the young brigade. You see the type of innings Rehane played. This is one of the best innings we have seen for the maybe last 25 years. And the way this Vijay is playing just like the Chetan Chauhan sir has been playing with Sunil Gavaskar. Just supporting role is that it's been a revelation to the Indian cricket because this young brigade has been playing well, they have been batting well, and they have been fielding very well. And with the young brigade, Dhoni has been able to manipulate better. Maybe with the senior players like Lakshman and Tendulkar and Dravid, he was not that effective. And one more, which is very important, that the Peterson saga. You are forgetting it. Peterson has been one of the best batsmen which has come out of England. And they have played very badly with him, and that is haunting again. Now, the whitewash in Australia, they attributed to Peterson. Now they are seeing they have lost to Sri Lanka, they have lost to India, and now they are seeing that Peterson has not been they made a scapegoat, now they are repenting on it. These were the four factors which were responsible, I see, for the debacle of this one. So what you say me about this opening partner, they are not playing well. I don't feel that India will be making any changes in the next test because it is a winning team combination. Always the team go with the winning team combinations, and you will see most probably the same team playing in the next test as well. Thank you.
All right, but Chetan, do we stick to the next team in the same? The same team in the next test.
After looking at the first game and the second game, I think so. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, even we sitting in the studios, definitely missing Ashwin. And there'd definitely be one change in place of Stuart Binnie. There's nothing like, I don't want to say anything regarding Stuart Binnie. He tried his best, and whatever limitations he had, first test match he proved himself, second test match the captain never wanted to give him the ball. Might be different reasons, whatever it is. But India needs Ashwin with so many left-hand batsmen on the opposition side, and we definitely miss Ashwin in the last Test match on the 4th and the 5th day. I think so. That will be a change. Otherwise, there definitely be talks regarding Shikhar Dhawan and Gautam Gambhir being brought in. But after looking at the last Test match, winning combination, that I don't think so Mahendra Singh Dhoni will be very keen in changing the batting order. But now you need Ashwin because the wickets are such. It's a good summer in England. When it's good summer in England, 3rd and 4th, 5th day, it will turn. You need to, because England batsmen are not very comfortable against spinners. And with this summer, I think so you have to play with two genuine spinners, right, Raman?
Absolutely, Chetan. Remember, we had this discussion on the show earlier as well that, it's been a hot summer in England. It's dry. The pitches are dry. You've seen it even in the second test match. The ball literally turned square at the end of day 4, and on day 5 you had uneven bounce. So with the number of left-handers, 100% Ashwin, is a player they need to play. If you have Murli Vijay trying to roll his arm away, even Shikhar Dhawan rolling, bowling a couple of overs.
You're really short one.
Yeah, India need that second spinner. So I think Ashwin should play.
Yeah, and if Shikhar Dhawan can bowl and Murli Vijay can bowl, and still captain doesn't trust Stuart Binnie to come and bowl in, he's been rewarded for the second test match because the way he debuted, the first game he played and played that 80-odd innings, saved India from the crisis. He deserved that second break. But I think so the need of the hour, we don't have to go by the winning combination at the present. The need of the hour is Ashwin, and we need to bring him in the side for the third test match.
All right, Abhishek, do you see Ashwin coming in for the match? The third match?
Well, I think I agree with Chetan, sir. Definitely would want to see Ashwin in the middle, but looking at the kind of reluctance Dhoni has shown in the past changing the winning combination, I'm not too sure if he'll be willing to bring him in. But most certainly, if he comes in, I think Stuart Binnie will have to make way for Ashwin.
All right, Sanjeev.
I'm going to add something here. Remember, there was a point that one of our guests raised earlier about the Anderson Jadeja.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Now the hearing for that is today. The ICC commissioner of appeals is actually going to be hearing that appeal. James Anderson has been charged by the Indian team. The England team have also gone on and leveled a charge against Ravindra Jadeja. Now, depending on what the outcome of the appeal is, there could be a severity of ban which will apply to both Anderson and to Ravindra Jadeja if counter charges are proved. The big question is, will the counter charges be, or the charges at all be proved, because there is no footage available of what happened near the staircase. Did Jadeja actually get pushed? Did he provoke Anderson? It's a level 3 offence. If proven, it's a level 3 offence for James Anderson, which means he could miss out for a couple of test matches, and that could change the entire complexion of the England bowling attack.
And Sanjeev, the point that many are trying to make on social media, and that's what we've been reading in this thing, while they're celebrating India's victory, they're also saying that, this was a test that England lost. So for India to come out victorious in the next 3, things would really have to be done very, very well from now on.
Absolutely. I think the Indian team has just started on the tour now, because now the pressure will be on them. Earlier it was the other way around. And, as far as the issue of batting is concerned, we were seeing stats coming up in the game that, how most of the English players now have a better average when it comes to playing spin against, if you compare it to pace bowling. And, of course, this whole Ishant Sharma 771 wouldn't have happened if, umpiring decisions had gone India's way. The way Jadeja was bowling on the 4th evening, he should have got at least a couple of wickets, and then in the morning, it would have just been, customary to wrap up the tail. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And the second thing that Mr. Bhanot added was the Nunchaku bit. It's actually a sword thing you do, when you get it. The Nunchaku is perhaps you would have got hit if you had done the Nunchaku bit. But yes, and I totally agree with Chetan sir that I think we should give Binny, he should be rested, and we should bring in Ravichandran Ashwin, because that will just give more teeth, a more all-round perspective to the Indian team. And if umpiring decisions had gone our way, perhaps, we would have seen someone like a Ravindra Jadeja getting the man of the match instead of Ishant.
That's absolutely right what Sanjeev said. Rested, that is the actual word. Because after a winning combination, you always say you don't do anything wrong. You want same combination to be played. But this is what I said. Need of the hour is Ashwin, and we should rest Stuart Binny. He's done well. Okay, in initial test matches, it's not easy for any youngster to come and perform in every game. But father and the son played in Lords and won that game. And if you see the betting scores of Stuart Binny and Roger Binny are same.
Oh, wow.
Except the bowling. Just leave the bowling. 9 he got.
And remember, I'll go back and Chetan's being very modest. Chetan's being very modest. The last time around India played here and won was back, I think, 86. Chetan was there. He picked up wickets. Kapil Dev picked up, I think, a 4-4 in the second innings and got the man of the match award. Because Chetan didn't pick up too many in the second innings. He had a lot of wickets in the first innings. A couple of wickets and we might have been sitting with the man of the match awardee for that game. Because...
But Paji betted well.
But you still hold the figures, you still hold the record for the best figures by an Indian.
5 for 64. It's a dream actually to get wickets in Lords, and especially that was my first ever tour. And but Kapil Paji batted very well in the second innings where we needed those runs. And everybody was tense. I still remember the 86 thing, because desperately you wanted to win. India has not won the series after Ajit Wadekar's 1971, and that was the second time after 83. Second time India was on the verge of winning a match in Lords. And it was like different altogether. I was not there in 1983 when India won the World Cup, but I was there in 1986. I wanted to see from the balcony how the Indian crowd comes and appreciate you, and that was a moment, and this I was watching on television yesterday, and I was reading Kapil Paji's interview saying that nothing has changed in Lords except the media box and the same slope and same wicket and
track and the slope. And
but the most important thing, you also, Chetan will tell us more about this. It's the most interesting aspect of bowling at Lords. It's also about getting your ends right, because there's that huge slope. That there's a higher end and the lower end of the ground across from the off to the onside. And as a bowler, you need to be operating from the correct end. Otherwise, you can tend to get hammered, especially if somebody's got the incoming delivery. And if you're bowling up the slope, then it's easy fodder for the batsman. Chetan, tell us more about it.
Yeah, because I never knew about it, and I actually bowling from. I started bowling from the pavilion end. It do matter about the swing also. Plus, it depends on what sort of a run up you have. I used to have a very quick run up. My run up was, and if I'm going down the hill with my run up, very difficult for a bowler to control the body and the follow through. And incidentally, my coach Deshprem Azad, he was sitting on the boundary line, and he actually guided me on to. He told me go and bowl from the other end, because go up the hill, because with your run up. I came up the hill in three overs. I got 3 wickets. I got Alan Lamb. I got Gar. I got Mike Getting 3. That changed the entire thing. You got 3 wickets in 3 overs, and England was on the back foot in that game.
All right, so imaginative thinking on your end, won it 28 years ago, and this time Mahendra Singh Dhoni asking Ishant Sharma to bowl the short deliveries, perhaps delivering this time. Ankit, you've been waiting patiently, and you've been posing a lot of bouncers to our experts over here. So what kind of a bouncer do you have today?
Today, actually, first I will start with that news from England side is that now Matt Pryor, the England wicketkeeper, he has left the series in the midway, and he has given that he has some fitness issues, so England have to find a new wicketkeeper now. And coming back, secondly, that I just want to say that now Lord should we say that it's Sharma's home ground.
That's very well said. But I'm just
It's Sharma's
wondering.
home ground. So, and I just want to, as a social media enthusiast, I just want to say that there were really interesting tweets that Shane Warne tweeted yesterday that England lost on to the most cleanest pitch ever created in the Test history, and that is a worry for England cricket. And the best tweet was of Kevin Peterson. He said, "I'm not the reason for England loss. It's the ghost of the London hotels."
No, I tell you what, this is, and it's an interesting point raised here. Matt Pryor says, "Hang on, I don't want to play anymore because I have an Achilles heel problem." He's played the series against Sri Lanka. He's played these 2 Test matches. He says, "My hand feels like pulp, and I have problems with my hamstring as well." Now all those injuries are being recounted. I mean, if the problem was so severe, why play the series in the first place? Now 1-0 down, he chooses to step back. I mean, I think there's a very talented player in Josh Butler who's in the wings, who's waiting there. There's Chris Reed, who's also might be getting on in the years, but he's a keeper who's been very good and solid behind the stumps. Why not give an opportunity to them? And now that he's made this statement, I think it's becoming a sort of a practice for the England cricketers. You look back at the Australia series, you had a Jonathan Trott taking a break, Graham Swan retiring mid-series. You don't help your team by retiring in the middle of the series. You don't help your team by walking away. I mean, you've got to stand there and deliver.
Yeah, I mean, England certainly seems to be in a crisis in terms of their cricket.
When they start losing, yes. When they start losing, they're a different team altogether. Go back in 2011, the way India was losing, and we kept losing. Look at our thing. We haven't won a game in 10 Test matches in continuation in England and in Australia. We lost
4-4, 8-0 down. Then
okay, but in cricket, you're going to lose. You're going to win some. You're going to lose some. But this is not the way you'll be running out. The Raman was saying, Jonathan Trott. He was talking one Swan. He was talking about. You should know as a cricketer. Okay, it's a part and parcel of the game. You should take the lose in a good way and the win the same way. If England would have won this Test match, I don't think so.
Matt Pryor would have been saying,
ever won, and those injuries would have never come up. I don't know. But as a cricketer, I feel sorry because the cricket has given you so much. When you start losing, you start running away from cricket. That's not the way that you should be playing.
All right, so let's hope for a more even contest in the coming 3 matches. But final questions to you. Any changes expected? You said no, the winning combination stays, but England could be facing...
No, Ashwin, I was talking. Need of the hour is Ashwin, and that definitely be there. Because I know Stuart Binney, because there is no utility of Stuart Binney at the present. The amount of batting he do Ashwin can do the same. He got 2 centuries in test matches. But if we have a genuine spinner and a genuine bowler as a 5th bowler, if you are playing with 5 bowlers, if you have a genuine 5 bowlers, 2 spinners and 3 fast bowlers, I think so that will do far good for Indian team. Then Stuart Binny, he should be rested in the next.
Raman, concur with that?
I do. I'll also be looking forward to seeing what is the result of the hearing that happens today. Is there a penalty levied on Ravindra Jadeja? I hope not, because that's a charge England have made as well, as a counter charge to what India said about Anderson. So I hope there's no such thing. Otherwise, Jadeja might be forced to sit out as well. So I hope that doesn't happen.
Okay.
For England, yes, of course, they will have to change their wicket keeper, and I think Josh Butler gets a look in. He's a talented young kid. Strong batter. He's been playing in the one days for England. I think time's right to get him into the mainstream for Test match cricket as well. They might also want to have a relook at what happens to the James Anderson issue. If he gets banned or gets a sanction of 2 tests, there might be a change in the bowling lineup too.
All right. What's been happening on your screens right now is the performance meter for all the players that we've sort of created and put out there. So James Anderson, of course, has been one of the top performers for England. Well, in this match and not really, but then he is critical to England as far as the spearhead of their attack is concerned. Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been doing rather well for India. The first innings, we can talk about his bowling figures. 6 in the first innings. And in the second innings, none. Ishant Sharma, of course, was the toast for the second innings. So that was a little bit of a performance meter. On that note, we'd like to wrap up. Of course, we'll come back to you before the third test on what is expected, and after the third test also on what really happened. But Sanjeev, Abhishek and Ankit, thank you very much for coming in and sharing your views. Also, Ashok, thanks very much for joining us all the way from Bangalore. Chetan sir and Raman, always a pleasure to have you in the studio. So the House of Lords, the Lords is not anymore just Lords, is the house of the Sharmas as well. Thank you very much for coming in. So we have a winner from 28 years ago, and here we are celebrating the winning team 28 years later. Thanks so much for watching.